leg is falling asleep. Hello, welcome back to another, hopefully happier episode of Draw Talk. I'm your host, Nolan McCool, and I hope everybody is doing well. How are all of you? Feels like it's been forever since I talked to you all, although if all goes well, it will have only been maybe a week or two tops. I am recording episodes 47 and 48 in the same session, by the way. Anyways, today I'm working on a illustration of a knight. I am a person who has just been obsessed with armor lately, looking at different weird types and variations from across the world. And like all the weird names they have for things. You know those little like round things they have that cover the armpits? Those are called bessigues. Did you know that? Bessigue. I think it might just be bessigue even if it's plural. I'm not sure. But they're weird, right? Like I was like, what? And this has been spurred on because I've been playing probably an unhealthy amount of Elden Ring lately. You know what? Actually, I wouldn't say it's been an unhealthy amount because I've been setting little timers, you see. I'll find a time when I'm not doing something to clean up or to work on work, and I'll set like a little hour-long timer, and I'll play Elden Ring for 1 hour, and then I'm done, you know? I haven't even beat the game. I got the game like when it came out, and I think I've sunk 100 hours into it, and I still have not beat the game. But that's kind of how I am with the Dark Souls games, you know? With any of the Souls games, I like to take my sweet-ass time. Because honestly, I think half the fun of that game is just soaking up the environment and all the weird lore and things like that, you know? But all of this Elden Ring playing has gotten me interested in designing armor. It's a thing I used to do a lot that I haven't done in a while, you know? It was kind of also spurred on by doing these illustrations of these D&D characters for a couple of groups I'm running in right now. And it just got me in that kind of fantasy mood, you know? I'm more of a sci-fi person. I'm more of a sci-fi person normally, but it's just got me in a kind of mood, you know? It's got me wanting to tell stories, you know? Alright, I'm gonna tell you guys a secret, okay? And something I don't talk about a lot on here, or I like hint at it best, but I have a story I've been working on, okay? Don't tell anyone, okay? Don't let anyone know about that. That's a secret. It's nothing crazy. I think the biggest hurdle with it is just trying to get all the details ironed out. It's kind of weird. It's like you have this thesis statement in your head sometimes when you're making a story, and it's like you got to reverse engineer it, you know? You got to think of, okay, I want to get to this point. How do I get these characters there, you know? And you want to do that in a way that's interesting, that's going to get people's attention, that's not going to feel forced or repetitive or like something anyone's seen before, you know? And that's kind of the trap, is if you're coming at it purely from the angle of, I want to make the most unique thing ever, you're probably not going to make something super unique. And that's been my problem, is I've been writing, and there's times where I'm like, this just feels wrong because I'm trying to make it unique, or it feels wrong because it feels too much like something else, you know? And there's nothing wrong with uniqueness, but I think the problem with where mine is ending up is sometimes I'm like, okay, that's a little hashtag quirky, you know? In the way that like Deadpool or Harley Quinn is quirky. Sorry to all the Deadpool, Harley Quinn fans out there, but I just sometimes I just cannot stand those characters. That's like Jared Leto Joker, where it's trying to be so weird that you're just like put off by it, you know? I don't know. Anyways, you should be able to do weird stuff. One of my favorite things ever is Twin Peaks, and the third season of that is just bonkers, and it's my favorite thing that's been on television in so long, and it's one of the inspirations for the thing I'm working on. So I had to kind of scrap what I had, and I've been working backwards again. and starting with making likable characters and having a rough setting for the world and going that way, you know? Which isn't bad. You know, there's a thing, right? You can go to 100 different people and ask them how to make something, and you will probably get 100 different answers when it comes to writing a story, at least, because there's not really a right way to do it. A lot of the best things break the rules, you know? Some of the best things adhere to the rules, like, to a T. Look at, like, The Rocketeer. That movie is a masterpiece, and it's set up, payoff. Like, it works like that, you know? It follows screenwriting rules to a T. You have something like, I don't know, True Stories, the David Byrne film, which is not structured anything like you would imagine a story would be, but it's still very sweet and enjoyable anyways. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're gonna make something, just make it. Make what feels right to you. If you think that, oh, this character wouldn't talk this way, or this character wouldn't talk that way, you know that better than anyone. You're the one that made the characters, you know? It's your story. Do what you want with it. Anyways, that's why I made this dude. He's got some significance to the story I'm working on, but I haven't quite figured out what yet. It's kind of a backwards thing. A lot of times I'll design a character because I think it's fun. It's just like making people that look interesting and having a little bit of a personality to them, and then I kind of figure out what they're supposed to be later. So that's what's going on with this guy. And you know, now that I'm looking at him, I think I might have a pretty good idea of where he could fit in. Oh, also, I'm supposed to give you some gouache advice, so here's Nolan's gouache tips here at the end that'll save you a bunch of trouble. When you're mixing gouache colors, be sparing. Do little dots of each color first, or else you end up wasting a bunch of gouache. Unless you're going to be covering like a page, or like coating it in like a certain color, in which case mix more, you know what I mean? But start off small. Little adjustments when you're trying to change a color to be just right. Gouache tip number 2. Work from most watered down to least watered down. Thin your gouache a lot for the background. You can even start with like a watercolor background if you want. Work with thin layers of gouache that get gradually thicker, and by that I mean you're adding less water to your gouache until the stuff at the very front, like your highlights or your final shading or whatever, is going to be really thick. Because if you end up mixing too thick of gouache for the back and you try to cover over it, you're just going to end up reactivating the gouache underneath because it's so thick and built up under there. But if you work light to heavy, you could kind of correct a little more easily. Tip number 3, final tip, okay? The colors you mix to be dark will usually end up drying lighter than you mixed them. Colors you mix to be light will usually end up drying darker than you mixed them. So bam. That's Nolan's helpful corner. You can copyright that. But anyways, that's a pink knight. Did you know pink used to be more of a masculine color? Like, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, in the early 1900s, baby boys wore pink and baby girls wore blue, and it got switched somewhere because of stupid whatever reasons. Who cares? Pink is a great color, and it looks cool on this guy in my opinion. But that's it. Thank you all for watching. Hope you had a good day. That 50th anniversary? That 50th episode is coming up soon, so I'm gonna have to figure out what the heck to do for that. Anyways, until next time, goodbye.